morning. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, it's nice to see you. If you are a returning viewer, hi, I hope you're doing well. If you are new here, my name is Tiffany and I am the maker and creator behind the Just One More Stitch YouTube podcast, and I live in Florida and it has been hot here. Hot, it's been wet, it's been humid, it's been interesting to say the least. It has been a while since I have done a podcast, so I thought that it was time for us to do a catch-up video. So I have made some notes. I have 2 finished objects. I have, I believe, 3 works in progress, and I have 5 things that I want to make. I am, as you can see, totally ready for fall. I have been ready for fall since pretty much August 1st. I just moved on. I'm over the heat. I'm over summer. So I am embracing my fall girl era. And this is one of my favorite mugs. Yes, I know it is a Halloween mug, but it brings me joy. So I think today the high is going to be 97. So we're embracing the fall vibes. All right, with that said, let's jump right into what I have been up to. Okay, let's start with finished objects. So the first thing that I have as a finished object is my Robin duster. Well, it's called a duster, but I made mine as a cardigan. And it's actually a gift for my mom. Her birthday is in September. And she's been like on a massive weight loss goal, and so I wanted to make her something handmade to celebrate how far she's come in her journey, because she's come a really long way. So let me show you. Excuse me, Rebecca. So this is my mom's cardigan. So the pattern is called the Robin Duster. It is by Briana Designs. It's a paid-for pattern. It's available on Ravelry. She's been really active on YouTube Shorts, which was actually how I found her. She has this pattern line that is called the 2 Seams line. These are crocheted patterns. She's a crochet pattern designer. And I was like, oh, only 2 seams. I think I have a headspace for that. So let me give it a try. So I made the Robin Duster. I used Cascade 220 in Christmas Red because red is my mom's favorite color. This yarn is 100% wool. The pattern requires roughly 1,500 yards of worsted weight fabric, and I crocheted it on a size 7 crochet hook. The stitch that is actually used in this, if you crochet, is the Alpine stitch. And this is what it looks like. Parted by ends. I still have to weave in the ends for her. So it's essentially crocheted in 2 panels, kind of. You do the back, and then you do this panel, and then you do this panel. Then you do the arms, and then literally all you have to seam up is seam the side, the front and the back panels and the arm all at the same time. She uses an applied crochet ribbing, and I use that at the top and at the bottom. And I didn't put a ribbing on the sleeves, on the cuff. My mom doesn't like stuff that's like really tight on her arms or tight on her neck, which is one of the reasons I made her a cardigan versus a pullover. And let me see if I can show you what it looks like. It's super cozy. And yeah, this is it. It was really easy. The Alpine stitch is really, really cool. It's like this neat texture, and it kind of looks like diamonds. So when you make it, what you do is, as you're crocheting, you have your loops on your hook, and then you elongate the stitch. You stretch it before you make the next one. And as you do that, it's what creates this tiered look. This was a really fun pattern. I really enjoyed making it. I was working on this in July, so it was a little toasty. It was something that I only really worked on in the evening, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. I have been following Briana K Designs patterns on YouTube and on her Instagram, and she's come out with some really cool ones. She has one for a purse that's really neat, a couple of other cardigans that I'd like to try. Crochet for me is like my instant gratification project. It's like that thing that I can do, and it's not like knitting a sweater where you start it and then, 6 months down the line you might maybe be done with your sweater. So yeah, I think I might actually make another one of these and make one for myself. I thought I might make one in black. The only thing to keep in mind if you do decide to make this pattern with this particular stitch is that the Alpine stitch, it will catch on stuff. So any elongated stitches like that, whether it's knitting or crochet. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I have to weave in the ends for her. She's coming next weekend. We're gonna celebrate her birthday. And so I have to get the ends woven in this week. And yeah, so finished object number 1, Mom's Robin duster, aka the Robin cardigan. The next finished object that I have is Sabai top number 1. So all summer long I did a podcast series where I crocheted or I knit different summer patterns that I found on Ravelry or that were trending, and I tried them out. And then I did like a pattern review and my thoughts on whether or not I thought the pattern was user friendly. Was it easily adjustable? Did I enjoy it? Would I knit it again? So I did Sabai top number 2 because I wanted to do something that was beginner friendly, that everybody that came across the video would be like, oh, I think I can make that. So I did that one and I didn't love it. The rolled neckline, if I remember, I'll put some pictures up here of the rolled neckline of the original one in the soft fudge. I didn't really enjoy the rolled neckline thing that was going on. In retrospect, I kind of think it might have had something to do with the yarn though, because that one I made out of paint box DK cotton in the colorway soft fudge, and I think that might have had something to do with it, because the next one I made out of, hold on, excuse me, Rebecca. The next one I made out of some leftover yarn that I had, and it was the Universal Bamboo Pop, and I made it, with just some leftover that I had from a pattern that I had crocheted, a V-stitch top, like just a slip over t-shirt kind of, but it's open. I don't think I showed that one in a video because that particular one, it was a YouTube tutorial on how to make it. So if you'd be interested in knowing what my thoughts are for following a YouTube tutorial for making a pattern versus a paper pattern, let me know in the comments below and I'll share that particular one that I did. But anyway, after I finished that shirt, I had a ball and I think like a quarter left over, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna make this a Sabai top and see, how far I get. So I ended up with a slightly cropped one, and I'm okay with that because I'll just put a tank top on underneath it. In fact, that's what I did when I wore it. But I like this neckline much better. I feel like it's much more polished, right, than this one, the soft fudge one. I just think it's better. And I think that the hem on this one is really pretty. The hem is the same as the collar, and the detailing in the shoulders is, I think it came out better in in the universal bamboo pop. I had a brain cramp there. Yeah, I think that it came out better, the detailing this way. So I think that if I was going to make Sabai top number 2 again, I would just try maybe a lighter yarn. This one also has better drape. It's like much more floppy. After I knit it, I soaked it, and then as usual I put it in the backyard over the back of the bench and just let the sun dry it, and there you go. So Sabai top number 1, I definitely like it much better than Sabai top number 2. Oh, and Sabai top number 1 had this fun bit of detailing, which I didn't read the pattern, so I didn't know. And so when I came to that part, I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I really, really, really like the detailing in this one. And I could see myself making more of Sabai top number 1 than Sabai top number 2. But both of them are great patterns. The first one is definitely beginner friendly. The second one, I'd say, is like advanced beginner, because you do have this extra bit of detailing that you've got on the sides to keep track of. And I just put a stitch marker on either side so that I knew where to start and stop the ribbing for that section. But yeah, advanced beginner for this one, but I still stick to Sabai top number 2 is 100% beginner friendly. So that's my finished object number 2. I have 3 works in progress that I have been working on and off. I had one project left that I wanted to make for summer, and it is called, I'll put a picture of it up here. It is called the Valensole top. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. For this project, I actually used the Patons linen in the colorway Sweet Potato. I was going to use this to make another My Favorite Things knitwear camisole number, what is it, 2? But I decided in the end that I think the gauge was going to be too big. This is the yarn that I'm using. Oh, there's a sticky on it. This is the yarn that I'm using, the Patons linen, and it is definitely thicker than the pure silk that I used for the first one, and so I thought that I might be pushing my luck. So I decided to make the Valensole, and I am on my second skein. I have 3 skeins of it. My gauge is larger than what the pattern calls for, because the pattern tells you that you're supposed to do the first 12 rows of the repeat 17 times, and then you start some shaping before you do the bodice. This is a knit bottom up pattern, and I don't think I need 17. I think I need like 12. This is what the lace looks like. How pretty is this? I absolutely love this. It's super fun to knit. It's very meditative, at least the first, hold on, I have to look. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, at least the first 5 of the 12 rows of the repeat are very meditative. Like it's very intuitive. The second section that creates the part that goes like this of the lace is not as intuitive, so I find myself checking back at the pattern repeatedly. The pattern is written and charted. I'm using the charted version. It's just, in this instance, it happens to be a bit easier for me. But again, this is where I am. I really, really love this. I think it's going to be so pretty. It's got a faux button placket up the front, so they don't actually make the buttonholes because of the way that the fabric is made. You literally can just pop the buttons in and pop the buttons out, but I think I'm gonna actually take my sewing machine once it's done and seam up it, so I don't have to worry about the buttons popping open, because that would not be cool. So I have, yeah, it says for my size I have to do this 17 times, and I am only think I need 12, and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on my 7th repeat. I think getting ready to start my 8th one, and I'm keeping track of my repeats by just putting a little stitch marker after I finish each one. And then I will move on to the next section, which is to add the shaping, and then you do the bust portion, and for that it's, you see in the picture, it's solid, so it's not all super lacy. This is my last pattern for the summer, and I've kind of just been taking my time on it, working on it here and there. I was working on it monogamously. At the end of this video, we're going to talk about my thoughts and feelings on monogamous knitting. So that is the first thing that I have been working on, and I'm, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. It's my last summer project, and then I'm like all into cardigans actually, which leads me to my next work in progress. The next one is called the Signora Manmi cardigan. It is a pattern that is knit and designed by Manmi Choi. Hopefully I said that right. Name right here. Here's a picture of the pattern and what it looks like. And this has got really, really neat construction. This was another paid for pattern on Ravelry, and to make this one I am using my Barocco Arnaud yarn in color 5072. It is 57% cotton, 43% merino wool blend. The pattern requires, for my size, 1,200 yards of DK weight yarn. Oh, look at that, I'm in the middle of a row. Brilliant. This, I think, because it's a tube yarn, I would say it's more of a worsted weight, and this is what it looks like. And if you have been on my channel for a while, you might actually recognize this yarn. There was an Andrea Maori pattern that she made for the, I think it was called the Cocoon cardigan, and I was going to make that. It was a really pretty textured design, and then it had a beautiful mohair collar. But in the end, I frogged it and decided that I was going to use the yarn to make this instead. I liked the texture pattern of that cocoon cardigan, but couldn't see myself knitting it long term. I couldn't commit, so I frogged it. So let's see. The cardigan is literally made out of completely, 6x2 rib. And I'm in the middle of a row, so bear with me. I'm stuck. This is where I am so far. It took me a while to get like my gauge to cooperate on this one, which was kind of funny to me. And then I have a stitch marker to show me where my 2 purl stitches go versus all of my knitting. The cardigan is knit entirely flat, and this part right here is your collar and your back shaping. And then after that, I think you literally add the panels for your back. After that, in case you guys hadn't noticed, I'm not a big advocate or fan of reading the patterns all the way through. I just go and go, oh, I like that, I want to make that. And then as I'm going along, I'm like, oh, surprise, guess what you're gonna do? All of this. One of the reasons is, for example, I have a camisole that I really, really wanted to make. I think it's called the Patons camisole. I think that's what it was called. And you start off with an Italian tubular cast on of 300 stitches. That's why I don't read the patterns, because right there I was like, nah, nope, the Valensole is the last one that I'm doing for the summer, and I just filed the pattern away, and I'm like, okay, I'll try that next year maybe, but not this year. So that's where I am on this one. I am really enjoying it. Let me see if I made a note for when I started. it. I don't think I did. Let's see. Nope, I didn't. but I can kind of show you a sketch without showing you the pattern. So this is what I'm making right now, right at the beginning of it. This is where I am. So, and this is, nope, I take that back. I'm here. I'm doing the upper back, which is this collar bit right here, and then what is on the back. That's where I am. My goal is to get to the right front. And that's where you actually pick up stitches at the cast on edge and you build out, and then it comes around. So it's got some fun construction, and normally I try to stick to like simple basic construction. I'm gonna do a video about knitting fears in the future, and complicated or anything but basic construction for a pattern is one of my knitting fears. So this is definitely me coming out of my comfort zone, and I'm just doing a lot of trust the process. So that is the second project that I have on my needles. The only other thing that I am working on right now is I'm making a granny square blanket, and I'm making it out of, let me just set this right here. That's the notes to tell me what row I'm on. I'm just keeping it in here for now. And I'm just making them in all different shades of purples, I think. For now, well, purples, and this is like a pinky purple. This was just some regular fingering weight yarn that I had bought at either Hobie or Hobium during the pandemic. And I figured, well, I'll just use it, and however many squares I get, then that's the size that I'll make for the blanket, and then I'll probably just put it away for one of my girls for when they have children later on down the line. Aside from that, that's all I've been working on. I have been sewing a lot over the last couple of weeks. I've been doing that. I've reorganized my yarn stash, and let me see. I started to bring my fall colors out because I normally use my fall colors as inspiration for new projects to start and make. And I'm contemplating putting another pair of socks on my needles because it's been a while. I did end up frogging the ones that I had on that lemonade yellow yarn. I can't remember what they were called now. I'll put a picture of them right here. I frogged those. I was working on the foot of the first sock, and I just decided that I really didn't want to finish them. And that is something new for me, because normally I'm like, okay, I have to commit. If I started the project, I have to finish it. Which is how I ended up, like in February when I did my Frog It or Finish video. I had so many projects because I've tried really hard to just 100% commit to whatever it is that I started. Now I've entered the, it's okay, you don't have to finish it if you don't want to era. So yeah, I frogged those, and the yarn is back over there in the basket. So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is monogamous knitting. I would be really interested for you guys to share with me down below in the comments. Let me know, are you a monogamous knitter? Do you craft on only one project at a time, or do you do multiple? I tried the monogamous knitting throughout the summer, which number one is why I didn't have a lot of videos this summer, because I figured one project at a time, after it's completed, I'll do the video, which is how we ended up with the Summer Top series with the patterns rated. I gotta say, I didn't enjoy it. I got bored. I found myself wandering off and going and doing other things. I felt like it took me longer to complete a project when I worked on something monogamously versus when I had multiple projects, like I'm back to now, to work on. I don't know. Is it Is it just me? Are you guys like that too? Let me know. I'd really be interested to know what everybody's thought process on it. Do you feel like you get more things done when you create monogamously? Or do you get more things done when you work on multiple projects at the same time? I felt like after I finished Sabai Top #1, that was like, I think that was my last true monogamous project, because when I was working on the Valensole, I was also working on the Robin Duster at the same time. And I feel like working monogamously kind of like, it sort of stole my thunder. Like my knitting mojo left, kind of. I have over there a basket with all of the cardigans that I want to make this fall, and I'm going to do a video about them. But honestly, I'm going to work on all of them at the same time. I've just decided monogamous knitting, crocheting, crafting in general is not for me. I want to do all the things all the time at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That movie title pretty much describes me. And I can now say I've tried monogamous knitting, but no, not for me. Not this girl. Anyway, I think that pretty much catches us up for what I did for the month of July and most of August. And I will have my things that I want to knit for the season of fall coming out right behind this one, probably like a week or two later. And I've also been working on some new videos for things that you can make with not with one skein, things that you can make with your advents. I've already started thinking about my advents, and I've already ordered one, and which of course sent me down the rabbit hole of what do we do with all of these advents once we get them. And as I say that, there's a box over here that has like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different advents and a bazillion mini skeins in it. So I've decided to do a video on things that you can make with your advent skeins for fingering and DK weight yarn. So look out for that as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. Embrace whatever season it is that you're in. If you are still loving the summer weather, then rock that. If you have jumped on the fall is here ship, I am so here for that. Enjoy whatever it is that you are doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.